for these charities, as the company is governed by strict rules, and I have to get shareholders' approval at the next annual general meeting to donate funds for these or any other charity. But I will recommend that we give a sizable contribution, and I expect my shareholders and my board of directors to support me. Asia Capital, though relying on Caritas, will take full responsibility to channel and to utilize these funds of the two charities involved. We will directly recruit a person whose job will be to full-time monitor the use of the funds and provide feedback information to the sponsors. I wish to dedicate this book to several people. First of all, to Dr. Vijay Iswaran, my majority shareholder, who happens to pop into my life at crucial moments and has assisted me to achieve my full potential. Also, I wish to dedicate this book to Mr. JSL Fernando, who was my headmaster at St. Thomas's Prep School. I believe JSL was a far-thinking educationalist who saw the ethnic division on the horizon and did his best to bond the multicultural students together. My particular set of cohorts included Mr. Chanaka Amaratunga, who was a liberal politician, an outstanding human being, and Mr. Richard D'Souza, a journalist and dramatist who I believe was the most talented person of our generation. Richard was cut down in the prime of his life in an incident which got a fair amount of prominence. JSL ensured that we would never be racist by making sure that the three streams met daily as a single group. There was no Tamil class, no Sinhala class, and no English class. We studied separately in Tamil, Sinhalese, and English streams based on our mother tongue, but we identified ourselves as one class and one group. Every day in the morning, we got together for worship, for assembly. I also wish to dedicate this book to my father and several other quiet Sinhala heroes. When we look back on the events of the horrible 83 ethnic violence, we tend to forget the Sinhalese neighbors and colleagues who did their utmost to protect their Tamil brethren. One of them was my father, who journeyed through mobs to protect at least 100 Tamil colleagues. I do not want all these quiet Sinhalese people to be forgotten. In addition, my father was a man with a massive heart. He brought up another person I wish to recognize today is Mr. Carlyle De Silva, my father-in-law, who was the OIC in Badulla Police. After the 1977 elections, he put together a plan to protect the Badulla district, Tamils in the Badulla district, and the then superintendent police commended his actions, stating that not for Carlyle De Silva's efforts, Badulla would have been a Holocaust. However, he had to pay a heavy price for his bravery. He was denied all his due promotions and exiled himself to Papua New Guinea by joining that police force, where he rose to the ranks of chief prosecutor and head of the CID. He was also the advisor to several prime ministers there. I wish to dedicate this book also to these two young people who were thoroughly involved in this project at no additional reward other than their passion for their work. And also to Mrs. Jean Arasanagam, who allowed us to use her poetry to glue the book together. I would also like my Tamil brethren to put together a book on the goodness of their Sinhalese brethren during the awful period in 1983, July. You may remember Hitler killed 6 million Jews, but those of you who have seen the film Schindler's List know that the gratitude the Jews had for one caring German. The 1983 ethnic violence was a terrible thing, which was damaging to all of us, whether Tamil or Sinhalese. Coincidentally, I started my career in July 1983 and took on my last job when I took over Asia Capital the day before the war ended. I sometimes feel I have come a full circle, and in a sense, I'm a product of the war because my entire career has been overshadowed by the war, in some sense or the other. Just like my Tamil brethren who left the country in disgust, I myself left the country for the US in 2003 with the idea of not returning again. In 2004, I left the country once more, this time more permanently, to migrate to Australia, where the interminable war was not ending. By pure coincidence, my majority shareholder bought into the Asia Capital a day before the war ended in May 2009. And we have been very successful over the past 18 months. I want to make our CSR program worthwhile and tangible and a meaningful one.